Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly check out Doodle Factory. This is a game that you can find on Steam for about $6 or so. There is a 10% launch discount until May 8th, 2024. So, what is this game all about? Well, it's kind of similar to another game that I've played called, I don't know if it's Shapes or Shapes, but it's just spelled shape with a Z at the end. I'm getting a lot of vibes, very similar vibes here. In this game, what you're trying to do is you're first introduced to one puzzle board, and you're simply creating a factory. Don't worry, it doesn't cost anything to actually put these pieces down. It's just you casually throw conveyor belts out there and extractors, and your ultimate goal is to funnel these different shapes into the main hub. Once you've satisfied what the hub is asking for, you unlock new aspects of the game. You start off just throwing circles into the hub, and then when you do that enough, you click the button, and then you unlock squares. And then, then you start, okay, now I gotta combine these circles into squares, and now I'm funneling those squares and circles into the hub. And there's even upgrades associated with that. If I put so many blue circles and so many blue squares into the hub, rather than advancing the hub, I can spend these shapes on upgrades to make the conveyor belts go faster. So, like, there's some really cool things that you can do in this game. It does take some getting used to, like, the like when you're putting down the combiner, for example, what you have to, the exit has to be a straight line. You can't branch it off from the side, that kind of thing. But you get used to that really quickly. And what's cool is, like I said, there's no cost to putting anything down, so just right click, delete it, and move on and try something else if something doesn't work right. And that's what I spent most of my time doing. Real quick, the options menu, I think, is just a little flawed. There is a full screen toggle, for example, but all that does is it 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 goes into a windowed mode, but the same size as my monitor, and the window does not resize. So what's the point of having a full screen toggle if you can't resize your window? And the window is just as big as my monitor as it was in full screen. Like, it serves no purpose. I hate it when games do that. If you're going to include a full screen toggle, then allow me to resize the window or have resolution options so I can adjust the size of the window that way. To me, it just makes sense. I don't understand why full screen toggles typically, sometimes do that. It's just weird. But, like, as far as the game itself, getting back to the game, again, you start off on one board, but then you eventually get access to more boards. On the left-hand side of the screen, there's actually like numbers, like 1, 2, 3, and so on. And you're going to be, you're given more opportunity to funnel resources into your hub using these different boards because, the one board only has four entry points into the hub, so you're limited as to like how much you can funnel resources into the hub on one board. But once you unlock more boards, all of the resources from the different boards will contribute to that grand total, and you'll see your count going up. Now, once you've unlocked enough, you'll be able to generate new boards, and this is what like irked me a little bit, but not in a bad way. Like, I'm the kind of person that gets attached to the things that I create. I had to get used to, real quick, learning to delete my current board so that I can generate a new one, so that I can now produce this particular resource type. For example, there are yellow circles and squares that you can eventually produce, but they don't actually come into play until you start generating new boards. And, now I had 3 boards that were all blue, like blue extraction points, but none of them had yellow. So I had to get rid of one of them in order to make room for the yellow. And that it sucked because I had to delete everything that I just did. And that, again, that irked me a little bit, but then, again, the game is so casual and so light, and just, it didn't bother me as much as I thought it would. But just don't get too attached to your setups, because more than likely you're going to be destroying it anyway in order to generate a new board. And there's even generate board upgrades. So like there's generate level 1, then there's generate level 2. More board slots are unlocked over time. Again, all of these upgrades that you're getting will change the available things that you can do. So it's like it's worth your while to regenerate these boards to make room for these new upgrades, the new shape types and colors that you're introduced to. So like, again, just don't expect to, have the same board throughout your entire playthrough. Like all in all, this wasn't a bad game. I enjoyed my time with it. It's not a game I would sit here and play for 3-4 hours at a stretch, but if I keep going back to that other game, Shapes, or Shape is whatever it's called. And my thought is this: Shape is, or Shapes, that's $10 on Steam, and this is almost half that. So like if you enjoyed Shapes, the Shapes, whatever, and you're looking for something a little different, then by all means check this game out. It's very casual, it's very light. It's more puzzly in the way it plays, but it doesn't do it in a way that hurts my head or anything. It's not like Factorio level migraine headache. I don't need an Excedrin migraine to pill to play this game, whereas with Factorio and Satisfactory I typically do. So yeah, there you go, folks. This is a decent game for what I played so far, and what keeps me coming back to it is, what else am I going to unlock as I continue playing this game, and that's what I really look for. I wish there was some kind of tech tree that I could look at, like encyclopedia, so I can see what all the different upgrades are, but maybe that'll spoil the fun. So I can maybe understand why the developer didn't go that route with it. But that was Doodle Factory, again, around $6 on Steam. This is Vince. Thanks for watching. Catch y'all next time. Take care.